just as I was telling you that this webinar is hosted by International Journal of Vocational and Technical Education Review. The journal publishes good articles. If you Google it, you get it online. And this is the third webinar we are doing. And we are doing it free of charge to see if we can contribute to human development as much as we can. Let me see if I can share my screen now, believing that no, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Yes. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen there? I'm asking if you can see my screen.
Only your face, Doctor.
Only my face. Okay. I intentionally unmuted you so that you can be responding to what I'm doing.
Doctor.
I think you can go on.
Okay.
You cannot show, you can go on.
Okay, now I want to share the screen. It will be better if I share the screen, and I know I can share the screen. Let me.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be better if I share the screen, I think. It will be better. Okay. I'm going to get the PowerPoint show. Okay. If he doesn't want to show, I will share this one. Yes.
Yeah.
You can see it, I believe.
Yes, now I can see it.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can share it in a form that you understand it. Okay, but if it doesn't want to go, I will still look at it. Okay. Now, as I told you that the webinar is organized by International Journal of Vocational and Technical Education Review, and the presenter is Vincent C. Asogwa, Department of Agricultural Education, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Eswatini. Now, the topic is best practices, best practice to writing significance of the study. And at the end of this webinar, it is expected that the participants will be able to explain significance of the study, state the components of significance of the study, enumerate the importance, describe the types, discuss the parts, and write SOS successfully using the best practices. Now, the first question, if you are writing a research work, that will occur to you is, what is significance of the study? We try to simplify it by telling you that the significance of the study is just the importance or the benefit of that study to individuals or the society, or even to the literature, Now, significance of the study in simple terms tries to indicate who will benefit from a study and what is the benefit of the study and how the beneficiaries will benefit from that study. Now, we looked at the components. When you are writing a significance of the study, what you just need to do is to sit down and think. You don't need to copy significance of your study from anybody or from anywhere. What you just need to do is to sit down, think, this study I'm carrying out, at the end of the study, the findings, who will use it, who will benefit from it. You pen them down, write them out. Then you think, what will they benefit from? If you say these are the people that are going to benefit, you ask yourself, what will they benefit from? That is the findings that you are going to get from this study. What will it benefit them? The next one is, if you say that the findings is this, then how will those people you have said will benefit from that? These are three important components of significance of the study, which you cannot do away with. In simple terms, you must state who, what will be benefited, and how those specific audience you said will benefit from the findings, which is the what. Now, we are going to look at the importance of significance of the study. Why is significance of the study important in a study? Why do we always emphasize the significance of the study in our research findings, in our projects, in our dissertations and theses? It puts the reader on the know of the importance contribution of the study. From the significance of the study, you will be able to tell the readers what will be benefited from this study and what will be found out from this study and why the study is crucial to be conducted. It also indicates who will benefit from that study, directly or indirectly. There are people who will benefit from the study directly or indirectly. We are going to see that. Then it convinces the readers on how the process, step by step, what they should do in order to benefit from the study, how they should apply the findings of the study in order to benefit from the study. It serves as a pointer to the implication of the study. What does that mean? What it means is that it is only those that you said will benefit from the study that you are going to write the implications for them. If you did not mention them, you cannot say that this study has any implication for any of them. Then significance suggests who recommendation will be made for. Who are you going to recommend this work for? It is those that are going to benefit that you recommend to them what they should do in order to benefit from that study. Then it also indicates what recommendation that will be made. It is from the findings of the study that you recommend what, and that what is the findings, in order for this work to be beneficial to the persons directly or indirectly. Now, we are going into types of significance of the study. I was just trying to capture this. Don't mind the font, please. But I know you are going to get it. We have two major. Here you see three, but we have two major. I will distinguish them. If you say three major, you are not wrong. But I will tell you why it exists this way. The three major significance of the study are: one, the theoretical significance, the practical significance, and then now recently we are talking of the policy significance. The theoretical significance, in that place, the researcher is expected to state how the findings of the study will contribute to the understanding of the theory, ideas, or principles that are used in the study. When you are writing a study, you normally have theoretical backings, a theory that your study is anchored on. Now, it is expected that as the theory contributes to your own study, your own findings should also contribute to the theory that you are using in your study. It could be to make people gain new understanding of the implication of your study, of the theory. Now, what you do is that you analyze the theory and see how your findings will make people understand the theory very well. You can also develop theory from your own significance. It is possible you develop theory from there. Then, having talked about the theoretical significance, we go over to the practical significance. This one that is very common and conversant with all of us. And what does it do? At this point, the researcher tries to clarify the actual, the applied, the experimental contribution of the study to the real situation rather than imagination. In this case, you are going to say specifically what human beings will do, not issues, not concepts, not ideas, not theories, but what a human being will do to benefit from this study. How this study will benefit a specific human being, what it will contribute to the life of specific audience that you are carrying this study for. Now, I gave you an example of one, which is a motivational strategy for enhancing undergraduates' interest and academic achievement in agricultural education program in COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in this case, the reality of the findings will accurately reveal the individual student strategies adopted for motivation to enhance their interest and performance. Now, if you look at it, I have mentioned specifically students that will benefit from this one and what they should do to benefit from this. It is unlike that of theory, where you don't pick a particular person, but your target is on a particular theory. Now, the third one is policy significance. The policy significance. In this case, you are going to explain what and how your study will contribute to policy formulation, policy implementation, policy evaluation, or policy review. So that is what this one is talking about. It targets the policy. If you say what it will benefit the policymakers, you are talking of practical significance. Get it clear here. But if you go straight on what should be done with reference to policy without pinning down who will do what for the policy to benefit, you are target. But anytime you say this study will be relevant to policymakers, it is practical significance. That is why I say we have two types of significance, the theoretical significance and the practical significance. And this new one, the policy significance, is just emerging, and I've explained it for you so that you, wherever you meet it, you will understand. Now, having said so, I will take you to the parts of significance of the study. We have two parts of significance of the study. The first one is introductory statement. this goes straight to answer the question, who are the beneficiaries of the study? You don't need, as you have sat down to bring them out, those people that will benefit directly or indirectly, you just use one sentence. If you are writing a thesis or a dissertation, you just use one sentence and say, this study will be beneficial to, you mention those people specifically. You mention them one by one. There is no too much words about it. And I advise here that sometimes people say it will be beneficial to administration. No, if you're talking of administrators, you use administrators. Don't say it will be beneficial to administration. No. So that when you are making reference, you will pin who will do what down. But when you say administration, you may not be able to pin them down. Now, having said so, that statement, we now go into the arrangement of those beneficiaries. There are two ways to arrange them. And the first one is hierarchical order. You can arrange them starting from the higher to the lower. If you look down after this topic in red, you will see where I said example. And we are going to see the university, administrators, lecturers, students, final year, future researchers, and researcher. I started from the broader aspect in that order. You can also turn it the other way and start from researcher in that form. But know that researcher is always coming last. It always comes last because so that your study will not look as if you are carrying it out for your own selfish purpose. Now, you can also arrange those who will benefit directly to indirectly. It is often said that charity begins at home. Arrange it starting from the target audience, those people that are called immediate beneficiaries. As you are finishing the study, there are people who are already benefiting or who will benefit immediately from the findings of that your study. And those are the direct beneficiaries. So you can start from them, then in that order you go out to the indirect beneficiaries. I gave you an example there, and where we have the students looking at that topic, the students will be the first beneficiaries, the teachers, parents, ministry, the officials of ministry. Society, in most cases, we write this word society. I intentionally wrote it here so that it will remind me something. When you say it will benefit the society, it is always encompassing. I advise that if you are talking of parents, you bring them out there. If you are talking of organizations in the society, you bring them out there. Don't just put it to benefit the society. When people will ask you how. Then future researchers, any study you are carrying out, don't forget future researchers, because they are going to make use of your work one day in future. Then before you now, it is just currently that this word researcher, you as a researcher, how have you benefited from that you are studying? It is very important you put it there. Having said so, we now move to the second part of significance of the study, and that is called descriptive statement. In this descriptive statement, you are expected to describe what will be benefited and how. That is the process. What should those people who will benefit do in order to benefit from that study? You just pick them one by one and don't make mistake. Arrange them the way you have arranged that introductory statement. Who? Pick them one by one and use paragraph to distinguish them. Always use 2 sentences for each one. Don't use 1 sentence paragraph. It is not advisable. Don't use 1 sentence paragraph. So you pick the first one, say what the person will benefit, and then how the person will benefit from. Look at the example I gave here. I said the findings of this study will provide students of agricultural education with information on the individual strategies that are adopted by different students in enhancing their interests and improving their academic performance in pandemic era. I highlighted this word information. It is possible you cut off this information and go straight and say the findings of this study will provide students of agricultural education with individual strategies. That is what this work will find out. It will find out individual strategies that students adopt in order to cope with this situation and enhance their interest. So that is what this study will find out. And then I have said what they will benefit. The next one is how. And I said the students can combine and adopt such individual strategies to improve their interest in education for an improved performance during and after COVID-19 pandemic. Because it is different ideas that different people have developed, you see that the students will be able to see, okay, this one is okay, this one is okay. He'll try to bring 2 or 3 and adapt them to improve on his own. And I've stated how. And the how is that they can combine it and adopt it. That is the how we're talking about. So it's very important that when you come to the descriptive statement, use 2 sentences if possible. Now, having said that, we'll now go to the best practice to writing it. Writing significance of the study. And the practice is who will benefit. Just use the sentence, one straight sentence, and write who will benefit. The beneficiaries of this study are, you mention them. Then the second one is what will be benefited by who. State what those people you say who will benefit from. And then tell exactly how they will benefit from, including future researchers and the researcher themselves. Then the next one is policy benefits. If you have any policy benefit, you bring it in. If you have any theoretical benefit, you bring it in. It is important that we note here the significance, the theoretical significance must be on the theory you are using. Don't pick theory from anywhere. Make sure you relate this theoretical benefit to the theory you said that you are going to make use of, or that your study is making use of. So with that, we have example here. Example of significance of the study. I've given you an example here. Just what we have stated there, I copied it to put here, and you see that the significance had already come out there. You don't need to copy this significance from anybody. It sharpens your brain. That is where you know whether the researcher knows what he's doing, whether the researcher knows the findings he's going to make, and whether the researcher knows who will benefit from the study and how they will benefit from that study. So you do not need to copy. You can look at how others have written it, but not to copy what they have written. This is where you have the test of the researcher. And I gave you an example there. So I wish you will understand what I said. Then the next one is bibliographies. I referred you to where you can get some citations. Thank you very much for participation. If you have any question, you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you, and then you ask your question. Okay.
Okay, George.
To share the screen. Okay, I'm trying to see. I have unmuted you. Can you talk? Somebody is raising hand. I have. Okay, unmute. Can you ask your question?
Hi.
Who is
Hello.
serving the floor? I gave somebody the floor to ask question. I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor, for the wonderful insights. It's a pleasure to be part of this wonderful knowledge sharing. I want to know from what you have explained so far, the difference between significance of study and justification of study.
Okay.
Having given details of the significance of study, how do we then differentiate it from the justification of study? Thank you.
Okay. I hope the participants can hear you. And the person asked a question, he said, what is the difference between significance of a study and the justification of a study? Justification of a study in most cases is the rationale, the reason that prompts you out to carry out the study. It is the reason, the cause of going into a study. But significance is the contribution of the findings of the study. The justification is that what pushed you, what is on ground that you have seen that it is not correct, but needs to be fixed. And if it is not fixed, something wrong might happen. That's the justification. Then the significance is that if you finish this study, what contribution will it make to solve that problem, that cause, that reason that pushed you to the study? I believe.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Who next? The next person? The next person? Can I see you raising your hand?
Will he see me?
Raise your hand, or you can type. You can type. If I cannot get you, you can type.
Yeah.
You can type. Yeah. Now I can see all of you. Who is raising hand? I can unmute you. You have to be fast because we have just limited time now. Who is raising hand? Okay.
Hello.
You are muted now.
It's me.
Ask your question. It seems your network is...
Yes, it's fluctuating. Doc, mine is not necessarily a question. It's hello?
Ask to go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Your network.
Okay.
Your network.
Okay, mine.
Go ahead before I unmute you. Your network is... Oh. Raise your hand if you have question. Her network is very poor. We can't hear her. Her network is very poor. We can't hear her. Lingwe, you are unmuted. You are muted to ask your question. Okay,
Doc,
IK is raising
my
hand.
is a request.
Make your request. Make your request.
Doc, my request. Please, can you please package this thing and send an email as usual so that we can comprehensive.
Okay. You are going to get it. You are going to
because
get it.
of network problem, we couldn't get it. Thank you.
You are going to get it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You are going to get it.
Okay, Doc.
Yes.
The lecture was wonderful. Thank you, sir.
It's okay. IK, go ahead.
Okay, Doc, thank you very much for the presentation. Okay, I have two questions. The first one is there any appropriate tense, whether present tense, future tense, or past tense for significance of?
Okay. Now, if you are...
Another one is it...
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, another one is, if I should edit my significance of the study for the implication of the study, is it too bad? They are the two questions I have. Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Now, you said the terms to use. If you are writing a proposal, you will say
yes.
The study, the beneficiaries of this study will be, that is future tense, because it is a proposal you have not finished. So in that case, when you are describing them, you use future tense because you have not finished it. Then when you finish the study, you will now change not will, but would, because it is a probability. It is not automatic that when you finish it, you say, these people gains. You can't use present continuous tense. You use the word would because it is a probability. It is a chance that if they do this, this thing will benefit them. So in that case, you will change that will to would. That is how the significance of the study will take. And then never a time you say this study benefited. It cannot, because you are still reporting it. Unless you carried out is a follow-up assessment to see those who have benefited from that study. In that case, you cannot report benefited. Otherwise, you use will for proposal, and after proposal, you say would.
Okay, sir.
Then the next one, you said, if you can change the significance of the study into implication. It is not automatic.
Yes.
It is not. But those you have said will benefit from the study, definitely they are the people you are going to say that the study has implication for them. And it is those things you said that that is the word that they will benefit. It is what will be the implication for them. That if they do this, this will happen. And the implication is always adverbial clause of condition that you use. If, because you are not sure that they are going to use it, it's adverbial clause of condition. Don't forget it. And some people say when, but you can write it without using the word if. But know that there is an undertone that it is not automatic. And when they use it, it will happen. Then who else wishes to ask a question? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've unmuted you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. Although I joined late because of my network problem. So my question is that there is some people that agree that the significance of the study should be written based on numbering. That is, you should number the number of significance. Some are saying you should put it in paragraph. Which one is appropriate, sir?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you have to, every university has postgraduate guys or undergraduate guys. That will be your watchword. If you want to write, see what other projects they have carried out in your department.